Hello, and it's Mr. Punquist from Heavy Ammo Unbound, and today I want to talk about the most important issue that will be plaguing us in Forsaken and the years going forward unless this is changed. I'm here to make an argument for why I believe that we should still be able to change elements on weapons in Forsaken. So first, let me start off with one of the biggest themes in Forsaken. The thing that every dev has mentioned at least once in every interview over every gameplay showing since the reveal. Personalization. They're changing the campaign so you can go through it however you want, killing any bad guys in whatever order you want. They're changing the flashpoints so you can still complete them without having to do public events only. They're fixing mods to make it more in line with creating the gun that fits perfectly to your playstyle. So we can see that they're doing all this stuff to make sure Destiny can be played by whoever, however they want. But then why cut off another way to personalize your weapon by taking away the energy system? So Josh Hamrick, gameplay design lead at Bungie, actually responded to this question by another Twitter user and explained why this has been changed. He said it was because of the new mod system. With the elemental spot being replaced, there was really nowhere for them to put it, so they decided to just make it set elements instead. So I'm not a developer, so I'm not just going to say, just add an extra slot or something like that and just be dumb for the next 5 minutes or however long this commentary goes on for. Because that's a stupidly easy suggestion, and they definitely already thought about that before we even got any content about this whole mod change in the first place. Instead, I'm going to offer some personal ideas and see if they sound as good as they do in my head. So the first one that immediately popped into my mind was, what if they just put it in the perk tree? Now you're probably thinking, but then the hard light and borealis would basically be useless because you could do it with every weapon, which is very true. However, to combat that, my idea was, what if you just had to pay legendary marks or some other resource to change elements? That, or you could only change it 3 times every season maybe. While these would still kinda overtake the usefulness of those two exotics, I'd rather use the hard light for free than waste marks or tokens or glimmer or anything like that just to change elements once. My next idea is kind of weird. It would really only work for legacy weapons, but since it'll still be a big part of Destiny 2 Year 2, I thought I might as well throw this one in. So with the collection system saving every weapon that you had in year 1, what if you could just change elements in there? When you rebuy a weapon, you could just change the element before you buy it, for maybe extra glimmer or something. This one's kind of a half idea, as it obviously wouldn't work for year 2, or any of the years after, assuming this doesn't get fixed or it's never addressed later. But I still think it'd be a good suggestion just for having legacy weapons continue the trend of Destiny that's been the same like this since launch. Another suggestion I had involves the man bot who's centered around the mod system in the first place, Banshee44. With Banshee now being kinda useless since we earned the mods from random weapons, what if we were allowed to use weapon parts and Banshee to change the weapons at the gunsmith? This would make the new weapon system pretty much the same as the old one, as if you're like me, you don't have a lot of energy mods hanging around in your inventory as they're all going into weapons. It also wouldn't negate the exotics that let you change it on the go, so those will still keep their practicality. This one I could see being called too useless honestly, as that's really just a lot of work to change your weapon, but again, if you listen to this whole commentary, a lot of this stuff is pretty useless as it is a tiny feature in the grand scheme of Destiny. Finally, in my opinion, the most out there and weird suggestion that I have is integrating it with the Masterwork system. So after you finally level up your weapon to the 10th Masterwork upgrade, as seen in the multiplayer reveal, you can reroll it again. This time it doesn't change your stats, but it adds a random element to your weapon. This would be in line with how the Masterwork system currently works now in Destiny, where you can reroll for whatever buff you want in certain parameters. Obviously those parameters would be the 3 elements. It would also give players another thing to grind for in the Masterwork system and another way to use Masterwork cores, which I'm sure are filling up your inventory at this point, like mine. This would cost the same as a level 5 Masterwork upgrade, which based off the livestream is 2,500 Glimmer, 2 legendary marks, and 1 Masterwork core. Maybe increase the Masterwork core count just because that seems really low in my opinion, but whatever. And personally, I like this one the best, as all it's doing is giving Masterworks another avenue to support player personalization. But it doesn't matter what they do in my opinion, as long as they eventually bring this back. It was one of the only good things that come out of the old mod system, and I'd hate to see it go, even if it was for a better system in the end. I hope one day we can make weapons whatever element we want, and still have this outstanding mod system in play. But maybe that's just a dream. Anyways, this is Mr. Punquist from Heavy Ammo Unbound, signing out. I will see you guys next time.